Welcome to Outdoors on the Farm. I'm your host, Chip Flory. We've been doing these now for about 20 years, and watching how farmers have started to embrace conservation and it all becomes part of a plan. It's really cool. We had a great conversation with one of the leaders in cover crops in the state of Iowa, Chad Ingalls. Check it out.
So we've got some CRP waterway here,
Yeah.
along with just hay strips now. They had been contour buffer strips and CRP.
Yeah, what a nice spot back here. It really is. And to see what you're trying to do with the, you're looking at making small bales back in here, is that right?
Yep, that's the idea. Not a lot of guys do that anymore. There's a pretty good demand for it. And so you can certainly pay for some of your conservation by doing some.
Right.
Try to be a little innovative.
The waterways that we came by, you said that a lot of those are in the CRP?
Yep, so our big main waterway's in the CRP. It's been for quite a while, so it's a little wider than we probably would normally use. Yeah. But we take quite a bit of water off the neighbors, and it goes through and heads on down to the downstream, and so it's kind of nice to have that little extra buffer.
You know, a lot of times when you think about CRP, you think about that 80-acre field, or even bigger than that in some cases. But boy, doesn't it feel better using the CRP for something like that than it does taking 80 acres out?
I think CRP waterways, CRP buffers is the best use of CRP rather than these big blocks. But and you can sign up for those anytime. Right.
And you can let an area like that tell you what should be done with it. There's an area back in there that looked a little wider than what you need for a waterway, but it's probably unfarmable.
Right, exactly. Yeah, we've got some that runs right beside a peat bed. So it's wet all the time. It's been tiled years ago, but the tile don't work very well.
Right.
And so we're actually looking at putting some pollinator habitat into that edge there. Our spray guy chews me out every year. Why are we trying to farm up in there and getting stuck and that kind of thing? So that's going to be a perfect place for it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. You know, using the CRP, using the waterways, it's all about making that farm better and treating the dirt the way it ought to be treated.
Right. And that's actually going to, we're using the Conservation Security Program.
Okay.
And so we've got a little more flexibility on how we do things. We kind of sign up for a list of practices that we want to use, and that was one of them.
Right.
And so it can kind of fit in better with what you want to do than just straight CRP.
Yep, it's very cool. And then you end up with a spot like this that's going to be, it's going to be green this fall when everything else around here is coming out of the field.
Yep.
Wildlife, you're not going to be able to keep it out of here.
Get a foot of snow on here, and the deer are going to come back and dig through and eat.